I'm pressing record. So here we go. So I know, thank you so much for your time and being willing to meet us, Stella. So first of all, congratulations on your university and being on the volleyball team. I've started following AU volleyball. Mr. McEwen also follows it on Instagram. So do you mind just telling me the story first about like how you arrived to American University and how you started playing volleyball like there?
So I went to the university camp for volleyball, and it's just a summer camp. It's normal. It's not really for recruiting or anything. And one of the coaches came up to me in my last two days of being there. It was 2 weeks long. And in my last 2 days of being there, one of the coaches came up to me and asked what I would think about joining the team, helping out, training with them, and seeing where that led to. And I was just, yes, please. Like, to me, that opportunity is just amazing. And there's no way I would ever say no to that, because I love volleyball. I love being on a team sport. And I know it helps me with academics as well, just for me personally. So I immediately was like, yes, please. And the next day I talked to the head coach, Coach Barry Goldberg, who is the head coach now at AU volleyball. And he told me what like the job would all entail. And his wife also talked to me, and my parents talked to them a little bit. And yeah, that was that.
Wow.
There was a beach trip as well, but I didn't get to go to that because I was asked so late. I was asked for the first week of August. Recruitment usually happens, a year before you go to the school and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, and I just read, I mean, I saw on the Instagram that your coach won his 800th game, was it?
Yeah, he won his 800th game last week. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was researching him, and I mean, I'm supposed to be a careers and university guidance officer, but I didn't know that American University had a Division I volleyball team. But
I didn't know that. Yeah, they're almost all of their sports, like their varsity sports teams, are almost all Division I, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
And it was also eye-opening that a school less well known could still be Division I. But the AU volleyball team has won. The statistics are online, but I think it's about 18 out of the last 22 years they've won their Patriot League championship.
Wow.
So they've come first in the league, which then sent them into the first round of the NCAA tournament. And our current assistant coach, the one that I'm closest with, she was on the volleyball team, the AU volleyball team, when AU went into the first round of NCAA, played against Penn State, beat them, and went into the second round.
Wow. Penn
Yeah.
State, they're really good.
Yeah.
So that's great. So tell me about like the schedule. So you're in university now. So what is your schedule like? Like, so you said you practice like 3 times a day. Is that still, or no, 3 hours every other day or something? Tell us about your weekly schedule.
Yeah. So we practice Monday through Friday. So besides games, usually practice is Monday through Friday. It's 1 to 4 p.m. But on Wednesdays, it's 7 to 10 p.m. So usually it's scheduled for 3 hours, but the coaches schedule it for that long if they need to go that long. Usually it's only about 2 hours. But it's definitely every single day. And twice a week is lift, like strength and conditioning.
Oh.
And I feel like that sounds like a lot, but for me, for the person I am and how I manage time, having not a lot of free time on my hands is better, because I feel like the transition between high school and college is it's all up to you now. So if you don't schedule your time wisely, you will fall behind, and they don't care. Like, it's all completely up to you. So having all of my time basically be scheduled down to the minute is helpful to me, because it means I don't like waste my free time at all, because I know I don't have very much of it.
Yeah.
But it's not overwhelming. It's really fun. The team is amazing.
That's awesome. How many classes do you have now?
I'm taking 5 courses. So I'm taking like basically the medium, what's it called? Like the so you have to take at least 12.5 credits and at most 17.5 credits.
Yeah.
And I was taking 17.5 credits, which was 6 classes. And then I got asked to be on the volleyball team. And one of my classes I was still on the wait list for. So I decided just to drop that wait list and go down to 14.5 credits. So I'm in like the middle amount of credits required.
Middle range. Okay.
So I have, yeah, so I have 5 courses. Um, and it's, math, communications, law, justice system, and one other. But it's good. It's really fun.
Well, that's great. Can you talk? You obviously were in YCIS from year 1 to year 13, and I
Hmm.
know you played on the volleyball team here, and you took IB, and IGCIS IB, and you also played for Bayun club, right? So how
Hmm.
did your experience here at YCIS, like how did that help you prepare you? Would you say? And
Yeah, I think my entire experience with volleyball and academics at YCIS and at Bayun really tied it all into a package to prepare me perfectly for what I'm doing now. Um, because at YCIS, it's a small knit community. Sports isn't like a main thing, but we all are still very competitive and we still know our competition between, our own schools. Like we don't like Dulwich or we don't like another school.
yeah,
And that's that for me, I really liked that community and that we all knew each other. We were all very passionate about it. And that's exactly how it is here. So there weren't really any surprises when it comes to like the community.
mm,
Um, and the balance between academics, because IB is a pretty rigorous program. And with volleyball at YCAS, we didn't have every single day, but we still, towards the end, we still had it like 3 or 4 times a week.
mm.
So I think YCAS definitely helped me prepare like my time management skills and figuring out, um, I don't know how to frame this, but YCAS was very good at allowing me to discover my passions in life other than academics and balance that with normal academics or curriculum. And that's what I'm continuing to do now, just in a very different country.
Yeah. So
Everything else feels the exact same.
yeah. So what you're saying is that you felt like you had the choice, but also guidance to help you become the person you are today and find
Yeah,
your purpose. So what what
definitely.
what is the biggest adjustment to? So I mean, you were here in June. We had an online, we had a graduation in the auditorium. Now it's September. Now you said you're in Pittsburgh tonight. Uh,
Yeah, we're in Pittsburgh. I mean, I can answer two questions, one about the biggest adjustment and two about what we're doing right now.
okay, sure.
So the biggest adjustment actually doesn't have anything to do with YCIS or sports. It's com almost completely COVID and China related.
Mm,
It's like, um, people will ask, why are you so like, why are you nervous? And I'm just like, well, I haven't been around this. But then also the culture is just feels completely different. Like I feel like I'm ready to go back to China now. Like this is when August is when I usually go back to China, and it's sort of crazy that I'm not. And it still feels pretty surreal that I'm not going back. But so it's hard to discuss what the biggest adjustment is because it still feels like a fever dream.
mm,
But I think it's definitely just the community that I'm in is not it's not as international as YCAS is. Um, but then again, I think because the volleyball team now has 3 people from Turkey and 1 person from Israel,
mm.
and no one's from DC. So everyone is from somewhere else in America. So the volleyball team is definitely still the most, still an international little hub that I get to be around. So it's a little bit of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And what we're doing right now, what I'm calling you from, is a 3-day tournament. We came to Pittsburgh today. We drove up here, and then tomorrow we have a game against Pitt, who they were in the final four of the NCAA tournament last year. So we're excited for that. Right now we're undefeated, 6-0,
Yeah.
which is really good. I think it's the best record that we've had, being 6-0 this far into the season in the past 9 years. So extremely happy about that. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. And then we have 2 more games on Saturday. And then we drive back Sunday morning. Yeah.
So just to be clear, your university is in Washington, D.C., and you drove in buses, vans to Pittsburgh, and
we drove in a bus. Yeah, a big bus.
Wow, that's so quite the experience you're having there in university. So here's a question. So there's kids still here. My son, one of them, he's playing. They made him the libero this year. But there's kids at YCIS. They're all doing different things. Some of them like volleyball, some of them like other sports, some of them like this, and they're all trying to find their way. So you're in university now. What's the advice you have to students and parents at YCIS now? Like, what would you tell them to do? Everyone's going to have to face adjustments when they go to university, but what would you tell them to do now and when they're still young and they're at YCIS?
I would say find some comfort zone other than academics, or if it is, a mathletes club, maybe that is your comfort zone. Find something that makes you feel safe and at home, because if you're leaving the country that you've lived in for a very long time, you're going to need something that makes you feel safe and at home. And it might not be, if you're from China and you're going to the US, you might not be able to find that many Chinese people. So you might need something else, like a volleyball club where you feel safe and comfortable and you can just breathe and forget about everything else and feel at home for like a little while. And for the people that are looking into sports, reach out, or not even sports, like anything else, reach out to the professors, reach out to the coaches, because they will be checking their emails, they will be responding. And for parents, tell your kids to reach out, because professors and coach, I know you say this all the time, professors and coaches don't really want to hear from the parents, they want to hear from the students. As soon as you get to college, it's not the parents going to college, it's the students. So reach out, and they will either tell you yes, they will say we would love to have you, or they'd say we want to look at more highlight reels, or they'll say, I'm sorry, you're not the right fit, but this person, this club is looking for someone, you can ask them. So you can always reach out to coaches or professors.
So so not everyone is like, I was never a Division I athlete. You're the first Division I athlete in the history of YCIS Beijing. So, but there are other clubs like intramurals things that you can get involved with. And if sports isn't your thing, there's a lot of other things at universities. But the main thing is to get into somewhere and find someone. I like that you put that your safe place. I like that technology. Because it's not easy. What about the academics? Do you find it harder, easier, about right? What do you find about like studying there?
Easier.
So the IB prepared you, right?
Well, it's mainly math and writing.
Okay.
That's the thing that is usually, because those are the requirements. Like if you're not going to continue a STEM education, then or pursue a STEM career, then you're just going to be required to do math and writing for maybe one semester. And it's like this is the first time that people are asking me what to do and I can explain it perfectly, like for
Mhm.
in math.
Yeah.
And I'm doing I'm doing Stat 202, and I have people on the volleyball team that are older than me that are also in the class with me. And
Oh,
it's a
nice.
very different feeling. And I feel very well equipped for it. And it's a nice like refresher from being go, go, go in senior year of IB.
Yeah. So math and writing, and your major is journalism, right?
Yeah.
It- so
And like focus on politics and law.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, this is fantastic. I'm so happy to have the opportunity that the marketing has been listening in this whole time. I'm recording this. I'd love to actually share this with a lot of parents, but is there anything else that you'd like to say to parents or students here at YCIS? It could be about life. It could be about anything. Any advice from someone who's gone their entire career at YCIS? So your school, what do you have to say? Anything?
I I mean, trust the process,
No.
but don't trust the process by letting it do it by itself. You have to trust the process by helping things happen. You still have to work.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm even now, like everyone's like, every other day I'll be a little bit iffy. I'll be a little bit like, why am I here? What is happening?
Yeah.
And I just, I remind myself, this is what everything was leading up to. This is
Yeah.
perfect for me right now. And you can also always change your mind. You can always change your mind. If something doesn't work out, maybe I'll do study abroad next semester. Maybe,
Yeah.
there's so many different options and you're still young. You still have time. You can always change your mind. So, yeah.
Great advice.
And I also want to thank YCIS for
Okay.
letting me have a very unique volleyball opportunity.
Yeah. No,
It was very, very fun.
you mentioned to me like Matt McEwen and Shannon Spate. So do
Yeah.
you say some just more about that? Like how did they, what you said you want to specifically thank them, and what was that for?
Well, I want to thank Miss Spate because she was always constantly working on everything, whether it was the schedule or whether it was putting me in touch with Bayun. Like without her, I wouldn't have been in touch with Bayun. I would not be at the volleyball level that I am today without her contacts. And I also really got an insight for what American sports are like after
Yeah.
having 14 years of international sports. So that was really kind of her to be working so hard.
Hmm.
And Mr. McEwen's just the most amazing coach ever, especially because I was the captain for the last 2 years, and he really let me not take the reign, but he allowed me to have a lot of control over how I thought the group should be bonding, how I thought we should all be working together, how I thought we should improve.
Hmm.
And I think the skills I developed with being a leader there helped me in the classroom, helped me with my resume applications, and they helped, the coaches from AU volleyball recognize who I am and what kind of personality I have. Like one of the coaches, I was talking to one of them, just a casual conversation, and I said, like, these athletes you have here, they're really amazing. They're really fun. Their personalities are just something. And he said, well, that's why you're here. Your personality is also pretty amazing. This
Hmm.
is why you're here. So that's another thing that students should know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what skill you have or what you can demonstrate. People care that you work hard, or that you're being loud, or that you're participating.
Yeah.
So
So
keep
get
that in mind.
involved, participate, let your personality flow. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm sure we'll pass this along to the coaches, but I believe we do have great teachers here at YCIS, great coaches here. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, I know it's pretty late there for you. 11, what is it, 11:40? Almost.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
But
It's perfectly fine.
so I guess college kids don't go to get bed that early. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, Linda, did you have any more questions for Stella? I think
No. Thank you for Stella's sharing. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I recorded this, and I'm so, I will make sure Ms. Spate and Mr. McEwen also get this recording, but Stella, I look forward to hearing about your success in the future. And I'm so proud of you. You know, you're a great example to all the students here, someone to look up to. And we'll have you later when these year 13s are graduating. Hopefully we can do this again and you can share more of your experience at university.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Also, something interesting, this doesn't have to be in the in the marketing aspect. It could if you want.
Yeah.
But I've already seen in 2 of my classes, one was just a harsh justice and one was communications. Communications, there was one study that they talked about that was Bandura, which is a psychology study that we did with Mr. Abitbol. And I took a screenshot of it and it was like 2 whole pages. And I was like, I already know all of this because of Mr. Abitbol.
Oh,
And then the other one was harsh justice and the way that you should do critical thinking. And TOK with Mr. Quinn was exactly the skills that they are trying to build in this class. And I'm like, I already have this down.
wow.
So yeah, it's cool.
We'll definitely pass that along. So thank you for that. So Stella Snider-Hickey, AU, what's the mascot?
Eagles.
The AU Eagles, the American Eagles, Eagles. They're playing in a tournament in Pittsburgh this weekend. They're going to go back to DC on Sunday. But thank you for your time, and we will look forward to hearing of more success. And I'll have other graduates on. I know Chenan just flew. She's in the UK now. She just flew there yesterday.
Yeah.
So when she gets settled in, hopefully we can find out more from her as well about life in the UK. So thank you very much, Stella, and
no problem.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.